Mass Radio, you don't know. Pop the good music. Play them.
No cigarette smoking in my room. I Stephen Marley. Bless FM radio, play good tune.
From the mystical breeze in the morning till the dawning of a new day.
Hello. What's good? How's my levels? How's my levels, naughty? I like that sound. That's all I can say.
Greetings everyone. Welcome to the Sista Lil show. Welcome to the Sista Lil show. And I hope you all had a really pleasant week enjoying the sunshine out there. Yeah, there was a bit of sunshine. I went to the park twice this week. It was very nice to feel that vitamin D pelting down on us. So I give thanks for the week to the Most High. I give thanks to Bless Radio and to Bless Management for providing the platform. On tonight's show, before we go into a little bit of dub, we have Sista London in the studio with us tonight.
Whoop. Greetings and salutations, people.
Greetings. Thank you for your coming in here today to share some reasoning with us.
No worries.
And we'll be starting with the first track, which is Jawiz, and it's Up for Meditation.
Well, right now, I am Jawiz. Upsetter. Clear your mind. You're right. So make we all out full meditation. 7 steps of raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Level out the vibes and make we tell the nation. Say we make we all out full meditation. meditation. 7 steps of feel raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Make we unite the nation. Alright. So consciousness is a kind of levitation. In this world you have to find your station. Question all that you've heard and try to learn more. You should know that research bring information. Deprivation of knowledge is the real starvation. So never ever you take any consolation in the lies that they're telling you that sound like the truth. Look within yourself and find your root. And make we all have full meditation. 7 steps of raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Level out the vibes and make we tell the nation. Say we make we all have full meditation. 7 steps of raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Make we unite the nation. Alright, create your reality with a certain 5th-dimensional proclivity. Exercise your godliness in your levity. Manifestation is a certain activity. Relax and take your mind off of the trickery. Take a deep breath and find centrality. I am what I am is your reality. I am your engekyo. I make me all out full meditation. 7 steps of feel raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Level up the vibes and make we tell the nation. Say we make we all out full meditation. 7 steps of feel raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Make we unite the nation. Alright. Oh, yeah. Rap, tap, tap. I'm feeling high. Higher and higher. Oh, yeah. Oh. So make we all have full meditation. 7 steps of raise your vibration. Kundalini fly into illumination. Make we level out the vibes and tell the nation. Say we've got to hold on full meditation. Oh, Kundalini meditation. Ooh, yeah. Higher and higher. Yeah.
Not to reward evil with evil. Do not shame Ethiopia, he said, with acts worthy of our enemies.
We can make it better. We can make it a better place, better place. The children's future's at stake. Sweep up bad vibes in the broom and erase. More positivity is in my life, and that's how we negativity is. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. More positivity is in your life, and that's how we negativity is. Oh yes, feeling the pain in my heart, looking back, don't know where to start. This a very long road, heavy load. No one who knows, only Jah who knows. I know where I come from, I know where I go. My destination, yes I want. Where I'm from, where I belong. No one could have stopped me from treading their footsteps. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our lives. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our life. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. No more stress and no more losing control. More job blessings, more joy in our life. Selassie teachings, get I and I, clean and pure and I, L-F-R-I, humble and meek and I, give thanks for life. Clean and pure and I, L-F-R-I, humble and meek and I, give thanks for life. Clean and pure and I, L-F-R-I. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our life. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our life. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. Well, meditation is a must for me. Uplift my soul, I do it properly. From the sun I rise up early. Mother Earth all up on me truly. Connected to her, yes, spiritually. Feels naturally. Oh yes, mentally, physically. Feels naturally. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our life. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. Yes, we need more positivity, more strength in our life. No more pain, that's how we negativity. I guide and protect me. More positivity is in our life, and that's how we negativity. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. More positivity is in your life, and that's how we negativity. Oh yes, yeah. More positivity is in our life, and that's how we negativity.
So blessed, oh yes, I'm so blessed, yeah.
The last track was Black Amolo, and it was more positivity. This one playing now is Blessed by Queen Amiga.
My way was so blind, clearly now I see, walking with His Majesty. So free I am, now that I found my way. I live to please the Most High every day. Oh yeah, and it feels so good to know that I am blessed. Shout it out with me. You're living a life stress-free. Who just bless me so no one curse. Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Blessed, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who just bless me so no one curse. No, no, no. I know you've been through so much pain, working so hard on the little that you've gained. The hand to mount you in the pouring rain. There is a shelter, there is a shoulder you can cry on. Any mountains together we can climb on. I'll be a friend you can rely on. Just put your trust in the conquering
Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Blessed, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, say no one curse. No, no, no. I'm living my life with a purpose. Keep my eyes open and I stay focused. Survival is a must, but it ain't easy. Hotter the battle is the sweeter the victory. Nothing in life should be taken for granted. Just like the trees by the river that was planted. Creator of the heaven and the seas, maker of you and me. We bless, shout it out with me. If you were living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, say no one curse. No, 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 no. Oh, we're blessed, shout it out with me. If you were living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, say no one curse. No, 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 no. I'm blessed from birth. I know what my life is worth. Yeah, 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 yeah. So blessed, so blessed, so blessed. Shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. Bless, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, say no one curse. Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Bless, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, say no one curse. No, 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 no. So blessed, so blessed, so blessed, yeah, 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 yes. I'm blessed from birth, oh. I know what life's worth, yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessed you
All of a sudden, this golden voice from the Caribbean came and stood on the corners of Harlem and began to talk about self-esteem, holding up your backbone, you know, no wishbones. And Mr. Garvey gave them hope that there was a dream for black people.
Forward, black man. Never let them push you to the back, man. Focus, black man. The system is a distraction. Forward, black man. Never let them push you to the back, man. Focus, black man. A full time we take some action. Come on now. Tell the women, prepare the youth. We are the roots who bring the fruits. Forward in a your Gideon boot. Yes, no man, Babylon a get trampled. Give I 7 or 13 miles. Black star line up before our eyes. Marcus Garvey said we should be wise. It's full time we all realize. Forward, black man. Never let them push you to the back, man. Focus, black man. The system is a distraction. Forward, black man. Never let them push you to the back, man. Focus, black man. A full time we take some action. It is time for us right now to be united. All my brothers and sisters, you are all invited. I said the train is coming down, so get yourselves together to go. Yes, the train is coming down, so get yourselves together. Jano, forward, black man. Never let them push you to the back, man. Focus, black man.
distraction. Forward black man, never let them push you to the back man. Focus black man, a full time we take some action. Yes, Jaja, from out of them systems. A simple one tree king, in a Babylon a suffer like a poor thing. From out of them systems, we not be no victims. A simple one tree king, rise up quick and come on. Forward black man, never let them push you to the back man. Focus black man, the system is a distraction. Forward black man, never let them push you to the back man. Focus black man, a full time we take some action. Yes, yeah. Teacher said, grab your things and come on.
As the sun arise, I saw me rise up out of the bed. Eyes is unto the Father, cause I him protect me head. Buy this with the brew, so me get me bread, roll up a split, fill level the meds, and then a full speed ahead. How when them boss say, no walk, no day a road. Not turn on me yard when nothing was no dead. So rather go hustle for the dollar, euro, pound, and the peso. And Babylon can't from me show. Rasta man up on me show, man a go. Get tired, now sit down with no one fi give me nothing coming no. Better. Seller no off make some out of nothing, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a real. Go get a, go get a, go get a. Now sit down, come follow me now. Me done chat. Now go sponge for nobody fake come fat. Pocket skinny hustle until it become fat. No par with no cruff and with no link with no pay pat. Friday fish free fry. All if I just I go for spread. Remember hungry days when the food get ration. Mama used to say go take your hand make fashion paper. Me put the pen pan. No man me not depend pan. Me rather wear out me foot before me stretch out me hand. Go get tired. Now sit down with no one fi give me nothing coming no.
Go getter.
Get tired. Real seller no offer me come out and go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a. Hey, go get a, go get a.
That's exactly what we want to be doing. Going out there and being self-sufficient.
Oh, card fi me, nobody no give me. Anything possible with positivity. Pot of a bubble and food in a syrup.
Hold tight, Tasha.
Juggling a this a circus. Bad mind better learn them words not hurt us. Jaja said me as something serve a purpose. Fi tell you get up. No second fi a make up. No get caught up or set
Drea, Imani, Yembi. Keep go getting, ladies.
Sit down with no one fi give me nothing coming no. Better. Real seller no off fi make some out of nothing manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a. Go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a. Now sit down, come follow me now, watch it. Washington, go get a papina, go get a trench tongue, go get a, go get a, go. You and then go get a Luke Lane, go get a Grand Spanner, go get a, go get a, go. St. Anne, St. Bess and Portland, go get a. And all the farmer man plant the hammer, go get a. Brooklyn, Atlanta and London, go get a. And all African nation know better be a go. Get a. Now sit down with no one fi give me no coming. Better. Real hustler, make it out of nothing, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a real. Go get a, go get a, go get a. Now sit down, come follow me now. Say manna go, get a. Now sit down, because better. Real hustler, not happy, beg nobody nothing, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a, manna. Go get a, go get a, go get a. Now sit down, come follow me now. Me done chat.
This one's Akeem featuring Shireen
Shari
Ellis, and it's sweet reggae music.
Sweet reggae music, that sweet, sweet music. Give me a one-drop beat and a microphone. Even if a foreign land, me feel right at home. Give me a paper and pen, make me write it out. Only positive lyrics that fly out my mouth. Turn up the music on the speaker, the bass and the tweeter. Give me that perfect sound to make the message flow easier, relieve ya from Babylon's dirty ways. Feel the music flowing through your airwaves. It's so sweet, yeah, believe, yeah. It's a language everybody comprehends. It heals, yeah. All you need is a rhythm and some lyrics, my friend. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control. Music makes me so high naturally. You feel no pain, makes me wanna fly so far away to escape this reality. Yeah, music is real. It's a true believer. The language of love. It's my inspiration, my true vibration, sent from above. The sweet music fills my soul. Sweet reggae music makes me whole. It's sweeter than sugar, sweeter than candy, sweeter than a honeycomb. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control. Just give me that big bad beat, make me dance. Music takes me far away into a wicked trance. Set me free from bad mind and every evil plan. Music are the perfect weapon for dirty Satan. Every morning when I wake up, is music for my breakfast. Before I wash my face and brush my teeth, I tune my play fast. Sweet music I go save us from Babylon's dirty ways. Feel the music flowing through your airwaves. It's so sweet, yeah, believe, yeah. It's the language everybody comprehends. It heals, yeah. All you need is a rhythm and some lyrics, my friend. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control. That sweet, sweet music, hip hop or R&B. Everybody bust a sketch with me. That sweet, sweet music, from my head down to my toe. Reggae music makes me lose control.
Yes, that's it. Sweet reggae music. That's what we all like to hear on this station that Bless often plays, is sweet reggae music. It brings great healing to the soul. Now, Sister London and I are going to go into a bit of reasoning, and tonight we're talking about how we, as a community, we spend our pounds far too often and far too much in other communities at the expense of building our own and our own businesses. We hear a lot of the youth talking and like shouting about, well, you olders, you didn't do anything, and we haven't got this and we haven't got that. Now, when we buy something, we should also be looking at how do we invest in this product in order to create sustainable businesses. I mean, one of the things that we looked at is the fact that we don't practice group economics at all. And this is one of our negative, or one of our minuses, sorry for the word negative, but one of the minuses that we have when we come to building our economics is that we're not practicing it as a collective. And also that we are spending, can you imagine this figure? We're spending 95% of our income outside of our community. And the 3% that we do spend in our community, we'll spend in chicken shops, we'll spend in hair shops, nail shops that are not owned by our community. So we're spending within businesses that are situated within the community, not owned by us. So the 2% that is left, quite frankly, how are we supposed to survive or build anything on 2%? And one of the areas, I think you, Sister London, were telling me, about this sister that you saw on social media, and do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Just this week. Hi guys, hello, Tottenham and London and beyond the World Wide Web. I saw a post on Facebook. It was a young sister. It's in the Wood Green area, North London, and it was a place that she frequents. She goes, gets her nails done, she gets her eyes threaded, and this particular time that she went, she witnessed the owner abuse an elderly Nigerian woman who'd come to get her feet done, scrubbing her feet a bit hard. The lady was like, "Oh, it hurts," and then they said, "If you don't like it, go somewhere else." And she was taken aback by this, and she was like, "No, you don't talk to people like that."
Not in customer service.
Yeah. So she spoke out about that, thought everything was okay. Then after that incident, she said that she didn't want to spend her money in there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I quite like that. So she would still go to the place because it's a place where you can get your feet done, manicure, pedicures. You can also get your eyebrows threaded as well. So she was going to get her eyebrows threaded. 8 months later, her nail chips. She has to go and get her nails sorted really quickly because she works up the road. That's where she went. And then she went back and they said, "No, we don't do you."
Wow. So, when we're spending our pound in other communities, we are also accepting substandard customer service, practices. So we'll notice that in a lot of communities, and also the environment, the buildings are often quite neglected, and we're going to buy our things in that kind of energy there. It's almost as though someone say, "Hey, take it." They're just flinging the products at you.
Yeah.
It's not like if you're buying a beauty product, you actually want to buy into beauty. So why wouldn't you be going to somewhere like, you want to have the experience that many of our youth are growing up in. So you want to go into somewhere that is like Selfridges, that is like Marks and Spencer's, we can raise the bar because we know how to be very elegant in certain arenas within our community, but we should have that as a benchmark across the board so that people can stop thinking that we accept substandards of service, which we really don't. As you know, as a community, we're very giving, loving and friendly people. We open the doors and our arms to everyone, so therefore let us show people that we are not we're not this group of people that you can just fling something to. We are a group of people who are very inventive. We surpass a lot of things, but we shy like a shrinking rose away from those things. I'm not saying all people do that. There are many people within our community, because of these low standards of treatment. Also remember that many of these places that are operating in our communities don't actually employ people from within our communities, so they create an employment for those, and they have someone.
Although nowadays you do get the odd, hair shop, Asian-owned hair shop. They might have a black person in there. I have noticed that over the years.
Oh, that's an improvement.
I think since the whole backlash in Birmingham with the black girls and the hair thing, that was at least 10 years ago now. I think now that spot. Okay, the customer service in those places are bad. They don't have women serve us of their community. It's just men. Males. Yeah, Asian men thinking that they know about our hair, but clearly that's not the case. No. So, but there has been a rise in black-owned hair shops. I have one near me, Mr. Class. Oh, wow. So he's there. It's quite funny because, hi, Mr. Class, if you're listening, and his family. They actually have an Asian man in there. So it kind of throws you like, oh, it's normal then, it's not black owned. So that's quite funny. I like the way how he's reversed the psychology on that one. It's like, oh, it's a normal hair shop, there's an Asian man in there.
But this is the thing that we have as a community. Not all of us, I'm just talking in general here because I don't want anyone thinking I'm airbrushing everyone with the same paint. But I think we do generally have a poverty mentality where we don't think about upmarket standards on a lot of levels, and I guess this is why we've been treated in those make do situations. I mean, we used to have monopoly on the market back in the 80s and so on, but the companies were kind of undermined, and you know, the pound was being slashed by other businesses in order to get them out. But we need to start, we need to start small, and we need to start seeing things like you know, groups of people with the same skill set coming together. And within those same skill sets, when you come together, you can start to build. You have to think like the Chinese, you start small and consolidate.
Yeah, it's about collaborations, definitely.
Absolutely.
I feel that. I mean, no man is an island. No woman is an island as well. It's just about the sisterhood. It's all about the coming together, men, female, working together. But it starts with self. So it is something that you need to recognize. That starts within yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's the journey you have to take.
Because in order to get to the next stage, we have to have a degree of self-healing. We have to break down quite a lot of ideologies that are set in us that we don't really, that are not ours. We didn't create them. Therefore, we need to be letting go of those ideologies. One of the things that I found quite shocking, it was the areas of hair within our community, and the fact that, I mean, these are statistics from 2004, but as you know that, you know, they keep renewing them every couple of years. And in 2014, the statistics show that in America, approximately, wait for it, a colossal $19 billion is spent annually on hair from African Americans. In the UK, wait for it, it is 5.25 billion.
Wow.
As black women spend. That's 80%. We account as black women in the UK.
Sorry,
I have to hold on to this one. We account for 80% of the total hair product sales in the UK.
Stop it.
And we don't even
sit down.
And we don't even have our own shops.
Okay, some of us do.
Well,
let's not write the board. There are shops out there. There's more hair down in Walthamstow. Big up more hair. And there's others. I mean, there's a lot of actually. I hear what you're saying. There are a lot of independent people selling weaves and extra hair online. It is about choice, but it's about visibility as well. Because it's all well and good being online, but is your customer base going online when they're walking past on the high street? Can they see you? You know, it is. I wish it could be as cut as dry as that. I think if you're a black business owner, you've got to get more savvy. If you're crying out why aren't black people spending with me, or why, you know, black people should spend with me because I'm black, I think that's kind of a lazy way of looking at marketing. People are people. They follow the herd mentality. We know this. But we start things as well.
Exactly.
We start trends. So if you can market to your own people, and the thing about marketing, it's about information gathering. So if they haven't researched the black community and how they spend their money in UK, how are you going to know how to target that audience? You're going to have to go off your own, what you assume of black people, and which is, black people don't spend with black people.
Yeah.
So you're just going to cry the same old,
And the thing is, once you keep saying that, you're actually putting that energy
out. Of course.
So you're making it happen.
But black people do spend with black people. Black people spend money.
Yes.
You get me? We spend money. We are the consumers. So we have to get more savvy as business owners. If black people are your target, and when you're thinking about your target anyway, you should be thinking, you should have a target. It shouldn't be just black people, because as we know, we're very multi-dimensional. We're not 1D. We have characters, we do different things. Not all of us do the same stuff. Some of us can swim even. Some of us are vegans. Some of us eat pork. Do you understand? Like, we are different in every facet. So you need to know who your actual target is and hone it. So it works on both sides, you know. For black people to become aware of, okay, if I want to increase, if I the power's in your pound.
Yeah.
So it's about becoming conscious consumers at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So
Can you say that again, please?
I said the power is in your pound, baby. The power. P for the power, the pound, baby. So yeah, it's about taking our money, because you know we had a vote last week, or week before. I don't even know, was it good or bad? I don't know. Labour's getting cussed for something, but you know what I mean. These things, all right, you can do your vote every 3 years, every 5 years, but at the same time, you vote every day with your money in it. It's like, how do you spend your money? So, you know, even me, don't think, listeners, I'm out there buying all things ethical, because, you know, I'm a creature of convenience. So you go where you know.
Yeah, it's about that. Sometimes, you know, you want to, because even I found myself in this situation. I'm not trying to pretend and give a picture of Nirvana, because there's no perfection.
You then go all the way somewhere to get the same thing, and it's going to be a bit more expensive. Yeah. Okay, if you're really conscious, you might go, because if you that person's a black person, then you're going to go, okay, I'm going to make the effort, which is great. Great. We need people like that at the moment. Yeah. But then we also, on the business side, you got to think, okay, how can I make it convenient and easy for my customers to buy from me?
Exactly. You need to make yourself visible.
Yeah. So it is a balance, but yeah, it can be achieved.
Exactly. And also, when you're buying things from within the community, you're going to know where those things are from. So, for example, over 80% of products in one particular shop that's quite famous across our high street. I don't know if I should say it. But anyway, it's an Asian-owned hair shop.
Yeah, we don't need to say it.
It's a big shop.
We're not giving them free promotion right now.
They import quite a lot of their products from the US, and in 2016, a study was found that 1 out of 12 beauty products marked to the black or Nubian community to our women was actually toxic. Plus, they were very shaky about the origins of the human hair. So, and it's one of the largest suppliers in London.
See what I'm saying? They don't care.
First of all, what is it? 1 out of 12 products are actually toxic. Yeah. So 1 out of 12 sisters is going to have a chemical put on her skin or hair that's actually going to be toxic to her.
Yeah, and that's in addition to cleaning products and other stuff that we take in it, and not to mention pollution. Because the doctor did just give me an inhaler pump the other month, and I was like, what? And that's pollution. That was pollution that got me, so I was not impressed at all. So we, as black women, we are very susceptible and, to buying products that have a high toxicity in them. And, that is one of the reasons why going natural and is a good thing.
We have a caller coming through. Greetings, caller. Greetings, caller. You're on Bless FM.
Yes, I was listening to the program, and they're talking about problem we have in actually supporting each other.
Yeah.
The problem is about consciousness. If you're not conscious as a people, you won't support your own. So it's not about being stupid or anything like that. Just because we're not conscious. And we're not conscious of the power we actually have in the black power.
Something like
Yeah, it's true.
And for that,
Oh, sorry. Hello, caller. Can you hear? We can't hear you.
that's not playing. What they done?
Greetings, caller.
Where's the other one?
Hi. Put the speaker.
Aye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, caller. Just about. It's very faint.
Okay.
That's it.
What I was trying to say is.
Better. Thank you. Better. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. What I'm saying, what we actually need to do is consciously go out and buy from our own people. Consciously.
Yes.
Because other community support their own.
It's very true.
Consciously support their own. They, Indian don't buy. He buys from
Yeah, but they're everywhere in the high road, though. It's not difficult for them to go out. I hear what you're saying, Ras Alkaline. I do, and it's great that we should consciously go and buy the thing.
Go out their way.
They're visible on the high street.
From their own.
Yeah.
That is a consciousness we need. We need
But this is
to
why
deliberately go out and buy from our own.
Okay, but not everything's available from our own. Like, you know, there's certain things that are still we're not making for ourselves. It's a process, and I hear that. But if my point is that things just need to be a bit more visible. Do you understand? I hear that we should make the effort, but convenience always catches us out. We should just be real about it. Do you understand?
Can I say this to you? Yeah. Yesterday, I left my house deliberately going to buy things from black people, and that's what I done yesterday.
Yeah, brother, I'm not disputing that some of our people do actually make that effort to go out and actually purchase products within the community. As Sister London was saying earlier, there is some conscious consumerism going on. However, the greater percentage of our group, our community, are not thinking in that way.
Like you said, it's about the consciousness, you know.
That's what I'm talking about, consciousness.
It is true, but at the same time, what are you gonna do? It's not like Planet of the Apes where man can just roll down the gas and everyone turns woke in a second. It's a process. So in between time, you know, it's about being more visible.
Yes,
it's about promotion online, because we got a lot of people online selling stuff. A hell of a load of people online. You know, we might not be on the high street. At the moment, the high street's dying anyway. So we got to think of more ways to be more creative in how we speak to our customers, to the market, get more savvy with it. Don't expect just people to buy black just because I'm black. That's lazy. Come buy from me because I'm black, innit?
Yeah, I think it's true. It's true. The point
when you go to buy food, do you buy food online?
Some people do. Some people actually do shopping online. Online shopping is one of the greatest.
I shop online. If I can, I'll do it. I don't want to. Yeah, that's true.
Because online shopping, it takes the greatest percentage of the market share in the retail business across all sectors. And this is one of the reasons why many of our people have gone online, because of the globalization and marketing of their product to reach a wider audience. However, we do need even though they're tackling a global market, they're not tackling things on a national level. So where are they visible along our high street? Where are the pop-up shops? Because there are plenty of spaces that you can rent out for, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you know. Why are we not creating and being creative with these spaces? We've got spaces ourselves within our community. There are people who own businesses. We've got the West Indian Community Centre. We've got lots of other places, Mahat Centre and so on. Yes, they do use their spaces for events. However, how about we seeing more visibility for trading? For trading in the community. Greetings, brother. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here still.
Okay. So I think what Sister London is saying, that the visibility is only on an online scale. Our visibility isn't on a high street level, and that's the issue that we're wanting to counteract or bring to the floor today, to say, yes, we do have businesses, we don't have enough. Yes, there are a percentage of businesses online, but we don't have high street visibility. And so for convenience, as Sister London was saying just now, for convenience, we're going to purchase something in the closest store possible. You know, it's 11:30 at night. All you need is
That is our problem. That is our problem. The Jewish man is proud to tell you he's going to only buy from his own. He's happy to tell you, I only... And that is what I'm talking about. Forget about convenience. Forget about, that don't work. I'm talking about you as a human being consciously decide to do the right thing for your community. That's what I'm talking about. Is a total different thing. I'm talking about convenience.
But
and
what?
the down the
Okay.
high road.
So,
No,
so brother,
I'm
what?
talking about you leave your house,
Yeah.
deliberately to go and go shopping to your own people.
Okay,
That's
so
what they
brother,
do.
say
That's
the
what we have to do.
okay, I understand your point. Say you need a product for your child, and that product is all the way in East London, and you live all the way in North London. You don't have a car. It's 11:30 at night. How you gonna get it when the
I
corner shop
understand.
has it?
That is an emergency. I didn't say that.
No,
I'm saying
no, it's not about
you're
emergency. This
deliberately
is
when
how
you're going
people
shopping.
operate all the time on a daily basis. We have to
Well,
think
I
about
used to go
people's
shopping-
natural habits and how
I used to
we
go
go.
shopping every Saturday with my mother. I used to go shopping with my mother every Saturday. Every Saturday we used to go shopping. Okay, deliberately go shopping because it's a part of our liberty. Now I'm saying we still do the same thing. Every week we go shopping.
It's 2018 though. I'm just saying. People do things differently.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, in my mind and how it is right now in England for us, we are spending £300 billion a year, wasting on other people, not spending on ourselves. 300 billion. That's what we have in England together, collectively.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And that's just on here.
And we're not spending none in our community. Oh, we'll never get rich.
But that's why I was
Our
saying
community will never
earlier.
survive.
That's why I
It's
was
this-
saying earlier on in the show that we are only leave ourselves with 2% of the market share, which actually cannot generate what we need to see happen within the community. So we need to start thinking about how we are spending our money, but what we also need is visibility so that we can spend our money in the right places. Not everybody has the ability to go across London in order to get their product, no matter how conscious they are.
And it's about being organised as well when you do stuff
it
like
does.
that.
It does.
It
Because
takes
I'll
all
tell
of
you
that.
this.
But not everyone's there yet, Ras Alkaline. And we appreciate that you are, though, because obviously your black pound is bouncing in the community happily. So give thanks.
I like to spend in my own community. I'm proud of it. And
Yeah.
I want everybody to on that mindset.
Yeah, I know.
Proud
But
of
not
yourself.
everybody thinks the same, which is, not everyone thinks the same. So
that's
as a
what-
business person, for me, I hear what you're saying, but I can't rely on I can't rely on people like yourself because you're few. You know that, right? You're one of the few. Yeah?
That's why I was saying that the majority of our people are not thinking in the same way. There is a minority of people who do make that effort, who do go out further than they normally would in order to get these products or these services. They do look at the Black Market app or Black Pages app in order to find people within the community. But there's not enough of us visible in order to make a wave of an impact. You see, what we're doing now, we're making drops that are ripples in the ocean, but we're not making a splash.
I agree. And that's what we're talking about. Educating our people, be conscious about the things they do, how they spend their money, who they buy from. Their money is important. Did you know, by the way, that on Tuesday there was a day of protest in London, right? Country where black people took away their work for one day. A lot of people didn't know this, but there was. And hundreds of people did not go to work that day. And hundreds of people didn't buy it. Only buy from their own color that one day. And that is things like that we need to do in this country to prove that our pound does matter. Because these people think our money don't matter, but it does matter.
But you see, as we're moving forward, what outsiders think about our group is no longer relevant. We've spent far too long concentrating on what people outside are thinking or are making stereotypes of. All those things are irrelevant. They are a non-entity in our progress.
Yeah, and
I agree.
It's also about becoming financially literate as well. It's about education. It's about understanding what to do with money when you get it. Money's just not there to spend, we don't have that. So unless your parents taught you that, that's lucky for you. But I know for me, I didn't get all those pearls of wisdom. So I've had to work things out myself and teach myself how to be financially literate. because it's a whole nother language that we as consumers, we're not used to, you know. So it's about relearning, training, and becoming more financially focused, because if you're going to build any kind of wealth, you need to know that language.
Okay. There's one more thing I've got to say before I go. Do you know they laugh at us? They literally laugh at us because they call us consumers.
Yeah.
That's all we will ever be.
Yeah, but okay, I hear you, Ras Alkaline, but you know, like Sista Lel said.
I don't want no one to laugh at me. I don't want no one to be laughing.
Well, then don't worry. Like, it's calm, innit? Keep buying black and keep doing your thing, Ras Alkaline. You know?
Huh?
I said keep doing your thing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is,
it's not about me. It's not me to do my thing. I want my whole people.
I know, but Ras Alkaline, they're not doing it. So we got to find other ways to
you see, the thing
make
is,
them do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, all we can do is try to enlighten people's consciousness, try to light that match. That's all we can do. The actual choice is in their hands, and if people people are being honest about what they want to see on the high street, there will be a shift in consciousness, and they will start to buy consciously and ethically. This will be a normal, natural procedure when people come into line with self. Now, we can't force them. You see, you have to go slowly. Once you're trying to get somebody, what you're saying is you want people to start running and jogging, doing the Usain Bolt thing. What needs to happen is people need to learn how to crawl first. This is why we need to start small and build up. Rome, Mecca, all of that was never built in one day. It takes slow start and consolidate. That's what we have to do as a group. Like Sista London and I were saying before, it's about working together, finding like-minded people where you can actually work and move together with as a group, and where there is trust and visibility within that group.
Yeah,
with a clear understanding.
Yeah, and I don't think we should be angry at ourselves, because that's not productive. It's not solution orientated.
I'm not angry.
No, sorry.
I'm angry with my people.
Okay, but there's no point in being angry at your people either, Ras Alkaline. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I was angry, yeah, but I've since not. I'm not angry. I don't think we should be lazy as business people when selling. If our market, if our target audience is black and we want black people to buy our stuff, we need to be specific about marketing, about advertising. Who is your target? You know, when these big companies are selling to their target audiences, they put a lot of money into research, into market research, understanding their customer. We just assume that people should buy black because we had 400 years of slavery.
Or because we've got a picture of somebody with an afro on the front of something.
Exactly. We've got to be more savvy. We've got to be more, about it. Like, these marketing companies, they make a lot of money doing what they do. And there's a reason why they make a lot of money, because they put a lot of research so they can sell to advertisers. This is what we do. It's a process, We shouldn't just assume that people need to buy black because you're black.
I think
Bye, Ras Alkaline.
I think we lost the line there with Ras Alkaline. But what we're going to continue to talk about, just to end this little bit of our reasoning tonight about group economics and how much we're spending outside of our community, and actually realizing that 2% is not going to create any form of investment, so that the businesses and services within our community are not, they're not reflective of our community, and that definition actually needs to change. It's way well and truly overdue. Now, one last thing I wanted to say about the hair, and this exaggerated amount of money that is being spent on hair, is this human hair that is being used comes from this Asian festival. Now, the hair within Asia is shaved off in rituals every year. Millions of people travel, and it's 2 temples that are in southern India. And when they shave their hair off, I'll get to the reasoning a little bit in a few seconds, it's to get their prayers answered. So you're shaving your hair. The miracle that they're expecting to happen from their gods is when they've given their hair as a ritual as a sacrifice. And the many pilgrims, that's what they're doing, sacrificing their hair. The temple at Tori Tani, and that way they give their gods, and they have their hair. It's all a ritual. You're putting hair on your head that's been partaking in a spiritual ritual to gods that you don't worship. Now, I think that within itself is something to take very seriously.
Easy enough.
It's very, very serious. Because what are you putting on your head?
And these ladies, they don't know that their hair's being sold to Felicia on the other side of the Atlantic.
But it's the fact that even they're calling for the comb waist as well. They even use that. Now, this hair, people, has been preyed on and offered up to a god. Do you know the god that has been offered up to, that you're now taking that hair and putting it in your head? Oh, my days.
God ain't going to be angry. You might just get pure bad vibes on your head. But it is a serious business.
For your spiritual well-being, that is very, very serious.
Yeah, I do. With hair, it is an option. I've met many sisters who got natural hair underneath their wigs and weaves, protective styling, want to switch it up. Yeah, to me, the hair, it's not so much about the hair as opposed to what's in the head, but at the same time, I appreciate the diversity of creativity that we as black women have when it comes to our hair, so much so that the wider mainstream community, they've taken to extensions as well.
Well, to be honest, I grew up alongside the Arabic community from when I was a child, and the black community does not use as many beauty or hair extensions as within this community. We are constantly screaming at our women or our men who might be having their man weaves and weave beards and things like
weave
this.
Beards, you know? That's a new one.
We might have a brother whose whole hairline's receded, so he gets a man weave. Everybody wants to feel like youthful and beautiful, so the brothers are doing it too. But I just think we really need to think about what that practice is all about. And if you saw the ritual, would you then, and you were there listening to the prayers, would you still pick that up and put it in your hair before it's been processed? Would you really still do that? And then be flicking it like,
Listen, I'm not gonna hey, if you want to get your weave, if you want to spend your money on your weave, that's your business. But absolutely. However, it's the intent, it's the reason to why you're doing it. If you want to switch it up, boom, in it. But when you're covering stuff that's happening underneath, people get a lot of stress related alopecia and all sorts, you know what I mean? And for confidence reasons, they have put on extra hair. I mean, it's good because these times there's natural hair extensions and stuff, so it's getting more diverse, and I see that a lot of women are wearing more natural hair extensions.
There is a huge rise within the hair market. A lot of the younger women are throwing away these weaves and chemical relaxers and actually learning how to care for their hair, because if you think, many of us when we are children, really little, our mums or our aunties are doing our hair, and then as we get older, we then go and put a relaxer in, or we start to blow dry all the time. Relaxer's
like a rites of passage back in the day. I mean, I remember when I was 12 and that summer before I went back to school, I begged my mum, man, I want to relax my hair. I begged her. She didn't push it on me. I was lucky like that, but I wanted it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're becoming a woman.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the problem that arises in this practice that we have in the community is that we go from our mothers grooming and knowing our hair to a relaxer, which is actually not teaching you how to care for your hair type. Your curl wave what oils, what kind of products does it respond to? What does it need more moisture, or doesn't it need more moisture? All these things with your natural,
you actually need
2C to 4C.
Yeah, you need to actually take more care of your hair with relaxer because it is in a lesser state. Yeah. It's been weakened because of the chemical process. So you actually have to, you know, take more time, condition it more, make sure it's trimmed. You know what I mean? To the ends and stuff like that. But, you know, talking about mothers doing their children's hair, I think that's something that's died out, you know. I remember my mum used to do our hair and stuff, but you see a lot of young kids, children with extensions. Yeah. One time I was in KFC, I said to the woman, I had to say something because the 3-year-old's head was just full of extension. It just looked awful. And I actually said to the mum, I was in big old KFC, that's right. I said to the mum, and I turned around and I said to her, why, mummy? Why'd you do that to her head? And she was a Congolese lady, because I asked her after where she's from, and she said Congo, but she was just like, I know. I was just like, no, that's no excuse. She take responsibility. The poor pitney head just tied up with all kind of extension before the head has even had a chance to grow. Or even ripping out follicles and stuff. And this is where the problems start. I think if you have a child and you're already putting in weave and extensions and relaxers, they're not even getting a chance to see how their hair is before you go kind of through that teenage rebellious, oh, mum, can I relax it? Can I put weave on? You know what I mean? Get to know your hair. Don't be afraid of it. But there is a lot of hair journeys on like YouTube, and I mean, that's been going for a hot minute. There are so many natural platforms for going to know more about your hair and stuff. So,
but again, it's another area where we are feeding such a, you know, the market in India is worth more than 250 million annually. That's how much they generate for their country and to input into their infrastructure from us buying their shaved hair.
That's deep.
So, you know, it's free will for all. And yes, we should learn how to care for our own individual curl pattern. But we also need to be aware of the economy that we're building at the expense of our own just to look pretty.
Yeah, the vanity.
Yeah.
It's
let me say $250 million annually. We build that.
Yeah, we built a lot. Built the world. It's time to take back, people. It's time to take back.
Yeah, it's
it is. And that's where the power is in our pound, you know. We have to become more conscious consumers. It's like Ras Alkaline said, it is about becoming more conscious. It is a mindset thing. It does start with self. It's a process, you know. Exactly. Everything's a process, so yeah.
Exactly, it's so true. And I think historically, we know that in the 60s we had like Drake and Drayden, which was the first Afro hair care distributor in the country, and it was the company that was actually black. It kept the country's black population scalps greased, let's put it that way. They were the main suppliers, but there was all this kind of undercutting and loads of issues. The company went to America. It was a Jamaican company. It was Jamaican owned, and then they had to go to the States. So when we lost that, I think that's when the monopoly of other groups came onto the market. But it's definitely time to take back our own businesses and actually be self-sufficient a lot more. We need to stop going to outsiders in order to meet our needs and our supplies. And yes, our Ras Alkaline is correct. We do need a broader spectrum of consciousness shopping. Now, I'm going to play you a next track. We're going to have a little break now. I'm going to play you next track by Vibronics. It's featuring Germania, and it's called Tra-la-la-la-la.
I mean, so great is he, you know, that put their trust in the Most High and abided under the shadow of the Almighty. Well, alright, watch out. Cha-la-la-la-la-la-la, cha-la-la-la-la, cha-la-la-la-la-la-la. I and I show Jah Rastafari. show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail up the Most High, yeah. We have to hail up the Most High Jah. Hail him the Most High Jah. We have to hail up the Most High Jah. Ayanaya conqueror, yo. We have to hail him the Most High Jah. Hail up the Most High Jah. We have to hail up the Most High Jah. Ayanaya conqueror. Jah is the seed, the root, the stem, the branch, and the leaf. Jah is the veg, the fruit, the herb, the birds, and the bees. The earth, the sky, the land, and the distant seas. That's why we have to give Jah all the thanks and praise. Jah live in the eye, Jah live in a you, Jah love is all around. No place on this earth where Jah love is never found, yo. How my sound well, tell me how my sound well. I highly see, I will get the triple crown. Jah la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail up the Most High, yeah. So cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail up the Most High, yeah. Jah is the flowers, the trees, and all good things like these. Jah is the rain, the snow, the sun, and the cool breeze. Jah is the sun, the moon, the stars, and all living things. Universal waves, four corners, four winds. Jah is the truth, the light, my rock, protect us from sins. Jah is the right, the side, my mind to keep us right. Wherever you go, wherever you step, remember Jah. Poor blessings and joy, the Most High will provide. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail up the Most High, yeah. So cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, hail up the Most High, yeah. So we are feeling the Most High Jah. Hail up the Most High Jah. We are feeling the Most High Jah. Ayanaya conqueror. So we are feeling up the Most High Jah. Hailing the Most High Jah. We are feeling up the Most High Jah. Ayanaya conqueror. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail up the Most High, yeah. So cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la, cha la 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 la. Ayanaya show Jah Rastafari, yeah. Hail him the Most High, yeah. So we are feeling the Most High Jah. Hail up the Most High Jah. We are feeling the Most High Jah.
Strutting along, yeah.
This next one is Vibronics featuring Michael Prophet. It's called Searching for Jah.
They keep on searching now, searching and searching. They keep on searching now, what they're searching for. praises to the emperor. Jah, Jah, yeah. Jah, that's what they searching for. Hey. Searching for, I don't know. Jah, yeah, Jah, boy, Jah, yeah, that's what they searching for. Aye. They could look up, look down, just spread joy around. They could look near or look far. I want them know Jah is right.
So yeah, that was Michael Prophet, Vibronics featuring Michael Prophet, and that was called Searching for Jah. Now the next part of our talk, we're going to be talking with Sista London about, well, first of all, let's start with this. Why are you called Sista London?
Ooh, well, I am a sister from London, that's right. It was when I began my Sankofa journey, which is, for anyone who doesn't know what Sankofa is, it's a Dinka symbol from West Africa, Ghana. And this one is a bird looking back on itself, or the two hearts. And it's just about not being afraid to go back, fetch information, what you need in order to be in the present, to look forwards. So that was my journey. I started my Sankofa and I started traveling. I spent a year in Antigua, being called English gal, English, English, English.
Those moments in Trini, yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in a bar, nightclub, restaurant in the harbour, and yeah, and I realised that I'm not like these people here from this rock called Antigua. Yes. And my humour is different. I've got English humour. I can spot different types of white people. Where they just rush to all the tourists thinking that they're all the same. I said, I mean, can't tell them people they saved a whole year, 2 years to get here. You know them way there. So I'm not, and I wasn't in, even though I was a waitress and bartender in that place, I wasn't trying to be rushing up to them either. They got different mentality and they couldn't understand why I was here. And also I spent time traveling in Ghana and stuff, and doing the full kind of Sankofa, going back to my branches where my granny was born and stuff, and then going back to my roots in Ghana. So yeah, just the understanding of my journey just made me feel like, I'm definitely English. And I hate saying that. You know how, it makes me even now. But that's why I took London, because when I see London now, when I go to the city of London and you see all those buildings, when you just look around anyway, it's the wealth. Is from us, from my people. So I'm like, I'm going to claim this. Yeah. This is ours to claim. So I took London because it's one of the fashion capitals of the world. And, you know, we like to keep it fresh. I love London. I do. I love this. I love this city, man. This is where people are come and got together and freed themselves. So, yeah, that's why I took London.
No, I can understand. I mean, I've lived in a lot of cities myself. So I can understand what you're saying about when, you know, having a mentality which is kind of a double consciousness, because it's a fusion of more than one thing. But your greater influence is your environment and not always your culture, like your main culture, because the greater forces are out there. Really, the foundation of who you are will always remain the same. But yeah, I totally understand that. And like within the community now, like now that you're back in London, rejuvenated from Accra, and
yeah, that was a long time ago. So yeah, I'll be back in London for a hot minute. Yeah, today's people. Yeah, I'm a Londoner now. Been there for a while. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the community now, what those experience that you had of real being in tune with like your base cultures and going to the motherland and so on.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, how did that equip you coming back to London with being a true version of yourself, and what do you do within the community now?
Oh wow. Well, can I just say, when I was in Antigua, I felt for the first time like what I described as a white girl with blonde hair. It was just like doors were just opening. I didn't even have to. Just like, smile. Great.
Yeah, with your accent carries.
Yeah, and that helped as well. So taking that and obviously living somewhere else, get out your comfort zone. Yeah. You know, it makes you more resilient. So I guess I brought that back with me as well, and a real understanding of my people overseas, and some of the things and why they do it, and their culture, Antiguan culture. I mean, we hear a lot about Jamaican culture here. Antigua isn't an island that is so much talked about, you know, and we don't know much of their culture. Hail up my Antiguans out there, my Wadadley cats.
Well, now that she said that, I'm sorry, but I have to do it. And I have to say big up to all the TNT people out there. Sorry, love.
It's all right, it's not a competition, but we think it is, isn't it? Because the plantations, isn't it? All right, Tim, it's all right. You can pick up your
party. Unity thingy, you know, share the love, as it were.
It's cool. So yeah, doing that, like going to Antigua and then like going to Ghana. That was a real sense of just, I felt at home, I felt at peace. I didn't have the shield on that you have when you're here. Here you got to be a bit more, you know,
yeah, here you
bit
go.
aggy.
Yeah, that freedom though, because I understand what you're saying. Like,
freedom.
Explain that freedom to the listeners, because for those of you who've never been back to the tropics, whether it be in the Caribbean or actually in your first base, which is, you know, Africa, Alkebulan, Kemet, Nubia.
Yeah.
You know, what the differences between the two places, like in Antigua and actually in Ghana, what did you find was the significant difference culturally, on how do you see us being able to move forward and gelling from your experience that you brought back to the UK, because we have a lot of that cross-cultural diversity here.
I think it starts with the music. We've seen a lot of cross collaborations with soca and Afrobeats. That's a start, because then you get to travel. There's reason. I mean, artists go to Africa all the time. I mean, it's nothing new, don't get me wrong. But I love the cross collaboration with the Caribbean in particular, because, you know, there's no direct flight going from Caribbean to Africa. We have to go through America or England. So that, as musically, is a way that we can start connecting, and trade as well. We start, you know, doing trade. I mean, when I went to Ghana, I wanted to do direct trade with the artisans there, so that's what I did. I spoke to them, done business. They loved the fact that A, I was there, and B, I wanted to do business because they want new markets.
Because I think we're not being appreciative or understanding how much our distant cousins in the motherland are actually willing and ready to start doing business with us.
About it. They are. They're and there's a lot of creative young people there as well. So much talent, people, because, you know,
a
over
lot
there,
of raw talent as well.
Yeah, you do, and you got to hustle as well. It's not easy. Poverty is rife. You know, not kind of. I mean, yeah, there's pockets of poverty in the UK, but, you know, as anyone that's travelled to the continent of Africa or even back home in the Caribbean, when you see poverty there, it's like, whoa.
That's on a different level. We don't actually have poverty here.
It's hidden. I think it's more hidden.
But when you look at the scale and the differences, so for example, in London, I've seen poverty in London. In Tobago, I've seen poverty. But in Jamaica, I saw poverty, real hardship.
Yeah, it's peak out there. But then you see that. But then you see a man looking pristine. I saw a man looking pristine, and he went back in a house that looked like a shack. I was so surprised.
Greetings, caller.
Who's calling?
If you can call back, he was on, and I guess the caller just hung up. Do call back. The number is 079 444 313 66. I repeat, 079 444 313 66 if you want to reason with Sister London and I here tonight on Bless Radio 1.
So yeah, even though what I was saying, people look their house might look away, but the way they carry themselves and clean themselves, you wouldn't think any kind of sanitation was an issue.
Absolutely, it's spick and span.
It is. That's a surprise as well.
Because one of the things at a core level are people really do have a sense of self-pride and self-respect, no matter how hard the hardship is. When you go into some of these very poor areas within the tropics, whether it be the Caribbean region or the motherland, or even in South America, Mexico, and those Central American regions where our people are, you do see a different level of poverty, which really makes you appreciate what you have here.
Yeah, but with that, you also get a close sense of community as well, because people need each other. Yeah. So there's a reliance, and obviously because poverty is so stark, that, you know, you have to rely on each other, and that's what we miss here as well, because everyone's trying to pretend like they ain't poor. But really, you poor. Because if you're not part of the 1%, you poor. Your cage might just feel a bit bigger and more comfortable.
I mean, I would actually say that you have a low income, but poverty, real poverty. I'm talking you haven't eaten for 2 weeks. You haven't got shoes to wear. You live miles to find water. You have to walk for ages just to get a tap.
Well,
you got no electricity. You only got candles.
That's crisis problems. I mean, I did see I mean, I'm not laughing, so don't get me wrong, listeners. I'm not laughing at it. It's the way she put it. I mean, poverty doesn't even have to be that stark in places. It's just, it's just, yeah. But people are still smiling and they're still happy and they're very welcoming. I found that in Ghana. They were absolutely wonderful. I did spend some time in the ghetto drinking some bush alcohol. Yeah. I forgot the term. What do they call it? Moonshine, right? Some homemade stuff. Yeah, they were very welcoming in Ghana. I felt at home. So,
well, the Ghanaians are very loving people, genuinely. I think they're very warm, loving people, in my experience.
Yeah, the ones in Ghana are. Sorry, Ghanaians.
Ooh, I didn't say that.
The ones in Ghana are. Nah, cool, yeah. We can't, tar everyone with the same brush, but yeah, I enjoyed my time in Ghana.
And so, what are you what are you spearheading in London now? Like what? So you've come back with those experiences, and do you work within the community, within groups? If when we're talking about group do you work in that? Are you part of a collective with pop-up shops and things like this?
Yeah, I do. If anyone remembers, I had a shop in Edmonton Green back in 2012, 2013, where my shop was called Sista One Stop Shop. It was a platform for creative people, working together and stuff like that. Since the shop closed, I've been on and off the plantation trying to escape. So at the moment I have escaped, but don't tell Massa, man. Don't tell Massa. I'm trying to run, I'm trying to make the path clear, and I promise I'll come back for you. But seriously, I'm part of a pop-up collective in Peckham at the moment. I like them. I mean, I don't sew, I source. Yeah. I make a product. I made a shea butter blend, but I am a sourcer. I used to be a news hound, a journalist, so I like finding stuff. I love African-inspired accessories. I understand there is a market for it, but we've got to create more platforms for it. Yeah. So that's what we're doing, creating platforms. I think online it's very more, you can get more online. Yeah. Like we're saying, in the high street though. So to be in a shop, it was just opposite the library on Peckham High Road, where people can see us every day. Is great. I mean, people love it. I mean, they come, as well. So.
That's nice. I've been looking at some of the amazing products that have been photographed and being shown on Instagram, where you can actually start to see a lot more of what kind of, and it is an amazing collective of very good products as well. Within that group,
most of them are
joining.
Handmade. Yes, Chia Designs will be coming into the shop. It's called Hub and Culture, and like I said, we are in Peckham, so we do understand that it is across the river. So if any reason you're in Peckham, you can pop across and link in. Open 7 days a week. 10 till 8 Monday to Saturday, and 12 till 6 on Sunday.
Can you, for those who didn't catch it the first time, can you just give them the address again so, you know, they can...
Sure, it's 89 Peckham High Street, SE15. If you go to the, I think it's a Peace Wall, just by the lights, we're just over the other side, underneath that canopy thing. So yeah, come find us, link in, see the collective, feel the vibes.
And that's one of the things we want to see more of, people like Sista London who've taken the initiative to create a visual platform and make things visible for people who have joined a collective to make things visible for
I just want to say it's not actually my shop.
No, but
I
you're
am
part
part of a collective, which is good. It's a nice concept, and I will be there as long as it works.
But that unit, that building within a group is something very progressive, and what we need to see more. Yeah, we see, like you were saying before, we see it online. However, that visibility needs to be in, we need to see it in almost wherever we have a dense population of our people, we need to be seeing these things. If you've got services or products, find people who've also got similar services and products and make a collective. Do pop-up shops. There's lots of scope for moving forward and creating a new vision for, and we will have the youth stop complaining about the fact that, well, them elders haven't done anything. Well, yes,
that's what they're saying. But they're having their own conversations. They're not giving much about, they're not caring much about us right now. They're on their own flex, let me tell you. Yeah.
Excuse me. So the next track I'm going to play for you is a track by Vibronics featuring Maccabee, and it's called Are You Ready?
Positive vibration, we're spreading it throughout the nation. The time is now. Upliftment, music and elevation. One question, are you ready? Are you ready now? Tell me, are you ready? Are you ready now? Said, are you ready? Are you ready now? Said, are you ready? Are you ready now? We're on the move. We're moving in a one direction. Yo, can you feel the connection? We're in the groove. We're moving to a higher dimension. Yo, are you paying attention? To the white, to the yellow, to the brown, we're spreading it all around. Anywhere that people can be found, we're spreading the vibes from city to city and town to town. We're spreading it all around with the musical sound by the microphone. We're spreading the vibes from the east to the west, to the north to the south. We're spreading it all about with the lyrical words coming out of my mouth. We're spreading the vibes in a musical sound with the lyrical words. Musically hit design with that dirty bass line. Yeah, you ready? Are you ready now? Just like a satellite box. Now go send no negative, cause we not in a that. Positivity, we put you on the right track. Take away your tension, another time to relax. Time to make you think out of the box. Yo, are you ready? Are you ready now? Tell me, are you ready? Are you ready now? Say, are you ready? Are you ready now? Tell me, are you ready? Are you ready now? We're on the move, moving in a one direction. Yo, can you feel the connection? We're in the groove, moving to a higher dimension. Yo, are you paying attention? Yo, just let your body start move to the beat. Hear it in your ears and then you feel it in your feet. Back up to your brain and the cycle complete. You know say reggae music coming like your heartbeat. Happy use it, could never abuse it. Some of them don't know the power of the reggae music. And if you Are you ready? Are you ready now? Said, are you ready? Are you ready now? Said, are you ready? Are you ready now? Said, are you ready? Are you ready now? We're on the move, moving in a one direction. Yo, can you feel the connection? We're in a the groove, moving to a higher dimension. Yo, are you paying attention, Lord?
This one's a new track on Vibronics. It's called All Sister Unite by Nina Songbird.
All sisters unite, you can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters unite, you don't have to put up a fight. Release your inner light, shine bright. All sisters unite, we come together like a tribe. We, you and I. All sisters unite, we got to learn to love each other, pick up one another. Too many women in the world are not appreciated. So why do we choose to put each other down? Bad looks, side digs, and greetings with a frown. It makes me so sad to see, because I'm all about that positivity. All sisters unite, you can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters unite, you don't have to put up a fight. Release your inner light, shine bright. All sisters unite, we come together like a tribe. We, you and I. All sisters unite, we got to learn to love each other, pick up one another. Us women are beautiful creatures, so let's let our actions reflect that. Leave the negativity in the past, let's not take a step back. More love, more light, good vibes. Let's stand together as one. That's how we belong. All sisters unite, you can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters unite, you don't have to put up a fight. Release your inner light, shine bright. All sisters unite, we come together like a tribe. We, you and I. All sisters unite, we got to learn to love each other, pick up one another. Self-love will conquer all of your ups and downs. Self-love will conquer any of your self-doubt. Self-love will conquer all of your ups and downs. Self-love will conquer any of your self-doubt. All sisters unite, you can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters unite, you don't have to put up a fight. Release your inner light, shine bright. All sisters unite, we come together like a tribe. We, you and I. All sisters unite, we got to learn to love each other, pick up one another. sisters unite. You can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters unite. You don't have to put up a fight. Release your inner light, shine bright. All sisters unite. We come together like a tribe. We, you and I. All sisters unite. Sisters unite. You can leave your fear behind. Believe in yourself, be strong. All sisters, in the past. Let's not take a step back. More love, more life, good vibes. Let's stand together as one. That's how we belong.
This is Nishwada, Each One, Teach One. It's a track on Vibronics.
Each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. And all my brothers say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. And all my sisters say, each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. And all my brothers say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. And all my sisters say, each one, that's how we provide the mind of the wise, seeking knowledge every time. Teaching another, you end up learning yourself. Yeah, we come together with a song, with a rhyme, each with a lesson and interpretation, building ourselves up for a better nation. Yeah, I say each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. And all my sisters say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. And all my brothers say, each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. And all my sisters say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. And all my brothers say, I say, false talks coming out of our mouths. Only good words and songs that can help a brother out. Two is better than one. If I fall, you lift me up. On your most cloudy days, I come like a sun drop. Instead of looking for gold, we should seek for wisdom. Overstanding inside me, now go hunt for silver. So connect to the source of unification. Each one, teach one, it's revelation. Each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. Sisters say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. Brothers say, I say, each one, teach one. That's the way it goes. All my sisters say, each one, teach one. For collective growth. Say we all learn, teach, know how to speak. Come to evolve. Each one teach one, that's the way it goes. And all my brothers say, each one teach one, for each one teach one, that's the way it goes. And all my sisters say, each one teach one, for
album by Vibronics. Now, Sista London.
Hello, 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 hello.
So, for those of you who've been listening all the way through the show, we've been talking quite a bit about where we spend our pounds, so about group economics, and when we talk about unity building and unity spending in a sustainable way, where we're actually putting pounds into our own businesses so that we build them so that they're here when our children and children's
Yeah,
children.
it's about leaving a legacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel that.
Absolutely. And I think that this is being addressed by, like we're saying, these online retailers. We're not forgetting that they do exist, but we would love to see them being more visible within. We would love to see them being more visible within the high street.
Okay.
So we want to see sustainability, and we want to see a future definition which is all inclusive and all embracing of who and what we are, and that we have products where we know where they've come from, not somebody else giving us products, and also businesses where we don't have to beg somebody who's not from within our community for a job and they don't want to give us a proper position. We can actually go to people who have businesses and are looking at businesses from a professional basis based on what your skill sets are, not based on your pigmentation. So, and also seeing businesses within our communities rather than foreign businesses within our communities, whereby we can spend our pounds. And ladies, we've touched on it before. Now, as a sister, I'm saying, yeah, you can, everybody's, it's their prerogative what they want to do with their hair, but do recognize that level, that amount. We're not talking hundreds, we're not talking thousands, we're talking billions of pounds that we're spending in other communities. I mean, it's quite shocking that we actually generate and make the market flourish in another even in another country. It's in India.
We've got a lot of people.
You know, and we're actually building that, and the percentage of our community that is actually pumping money into these areas.
You wouldn't even mind if the wealth went through the whole of society in India,
yeah,
but
exactly.
it doesn't. It's, you know, poor people are still. For me, I think it's economics. It boils down to, and it's class more than anything. I mean, race is obviously obvious as well, but it's just because we make up the majority of poor people as well, black and brown people around the world, you know. And if African people, to use that term even, had their liberation, then it would give permission for everybody else to as well, because we're all enslaved on the plantation, so to speak. So we're all paying taxes, we're all not you know, we're in the same boat really.
Yeah.
And it's the few that get away with it. I'm a bit of an anarchist. What can I say? Just burn it all and put it back together. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, and we live in a capitalist society as well.
Yeah, it is
which is trying to say one thing, but we all know it isn't.
It's doing another.
I think good old trade and barter is what it's about. You know, it's being creative, finding solutions, because you can't change. We are here, 2018. You know, this is where we're born. This is where we came through. It's exciting times.
It's very exciting because even though we have highlighted some of the points that are not really in our favour within our community, like generating the $2.5 million annually to the Indian market. Sorry, I'm laughing, but it's just so shocking.
I mean, yeah, we know. I mean, look at Black Panther. Look at Black Panther. We spent a lot of money, as with other, you know, nationalities as well. But you know, it's mainly us going to see it over and over again. So we do have a collective power, and I don't think, for me, it's not about going, oh, why we do. Yep, those are the facts. We know them.
But we need to move beyond facts and now look at solutions that we can put in place, though, no?
Yeah, definitely. I'm solution orientated. Yeah, we're organising an event that's going to be incorporated into the Ethical Consumer Magazine annual conference in October. So it's about you know, challenging racism through consumer action.
Absolutely.
Because racism is real, we know it. They try to make us think that we're crazy, like, oh, what's that? No, unless someone didn't call you the N-word or spit on you or tell you to go home, that's not racism. But we know it's weaved into society.
It's all about denial of this power structure. Who wants to admit that they're being quite narcissistic when dealing with other groups of people?
Oh, they're awful, aren't they?
Yeah, but but we as a people can't stay on that plateau. What they think about us is nil and void.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. What's important is coming together and actually trying to make these things happen. Yeah. Trying to put solutions in place.
I mean, look at us. We're still great. We're still shining. Come on. We're still doing our thing. The amount of trends we be setting, the amount of, hey, come on. We're still shining, people. That's what I say. So,
we are survivors as a group of people. We have proven to the world time and time and time and time again, we are survivors. We're also suppliers of all these things. If we're supplying them, we can turn it into something economical for ourselves rather than always giving it away for 20p.
Yeah, we need to be thrivers rather than survivors. It's time to get out of survival mode. Yeah. Even though that's easier said than done, because a lot of us, including myself, still live in slightly survival mode. You know? Yeah. But at the same time, it's finding that balance of urgency, you know, knowing that it's more to life. Yeah. You know, you got to get that balance, and it's within you, and you just got to do your thing.
And a bit like that track we just played by Nish Wadada, and it was each one teach one. That's what we need to be doing, like sharing and, you know, skill swapping. And, you know, what it's about now is lifting up. It's about the parachute. It's about that rocket. We all need to do it in a row with holding hands. Do that rocket launch all together.
Let's move together. Yeah, you get further in it. What's that African proverb? If you want to get there fast, go on your own. But if you want to go further, go together. I know, it's not exactly what it is, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think everyone gets what you mean, because it is true though. If you want to do something, you know, it's always two heads are better than one. Yeah. So when you're doing things within a group, imagine the amount of ideas that you're sharing, the things that you're making happen, and you're putting things in place, you're talking about it, and you're making it manifest in real time. If you can you imagine if you're doing that across,
because the group consciousness is powerful. I like in Avatar. I love a movie. You know, Hollywood is, you know how Hollywood is a dropping gem. But you know, when they meditate together, like they create magic. You know,
so
it's
nice,
power.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's them, it's us. You know, so we have that within us. It is solutions, but it is a process. I think it's exciting.
I think it's also recognizing the fact that we are very spiritual people. And because we've got such strong spirits, when we come together and two and more agree, the manifestation and that energy that you put out into the world has a potency that you are not considering.
Yeah.
Power.
Every time.
Power.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually a little bit over this show. It's now 10:13. I'm supposed to finish at 10 o'clock, so we're just going to we're just going to wrap up here for the listeners out there. And we just want to say give thanks for all of those who lent us their ears for tonight's show. Give thanks for the caller, the brother Alkaline, who called in tonight on tonight's show and gave his angle on the subject that we were talking about. And give thanks to this caller. I'll just... this caller, oops, if I can even get the phone open here. So the caller ending on 8038, thank you for giving us a ring and drop, and also for the caller on, let's just see, 3362, thank you for shouting us. And we just want to say give thanks to the Most High, and give thanks that we for Bless Radio, for Bless Management, and give thanks for Sister London coming in here tonight to be reasoning with us.
If you all want to know more, follow me online. I'm on Insta. I'm a bit of an Insta baby.
Instagram.
It's just easier. What can I say? If you're not, then come see me in Peckham in my shop. And not my shop, but you know what I mean. The collective of Hub and Culture. I can also follow them on Insta as well.
And shout out to Raggedy. Thanks for the shout out there for us. It's tonight's show.
And big up all my Pan Nation crew in Tottenham. Love those guys. Big up all my familia. And just everybody about town. Be good, people. Be good.
So we're going to sign out with the last song here. And it's by Ashanti and Sela and Don Fee. And it's called Majestic and Liberty Dub. Here we go. Want to shout out to Nariba and Changa. Love you lots.